Hey everyone, and welcome to RezoCast episode 117. This is Lego, and I've got with me Hope, Triton, and Wilson tonight, and this could go anywhere. I have no idea what this episode holds in store for us tonight, because there's no TWAB, there hasn't been anything really new happening in Destiny unless you're slowly working towards unlocking the forges that you haven't opened yet. So yeah, literally anything could happen tonight. We've had a lot of requests for Hove Heaven, which I don't know what that is. Maybe they're referring to 7 minutes in Hove Heaven, but
70.
I thought
70.
Well, I thought the whole point of that, yeah, I thought the whole point of that was to like take all of your interruptions from the episode and put them at the end of the episode.
No, this was never a good thing for you. Don't. No, this is more like we're going to replace Destiny with debauchery. Like tonight, I was planning on finishing my story on how I got the nickname Cockout.
Wow, I didn't know you started that story.
I thought everyone called you Frankenfooter.
Frankenfurter?
Frankenfurter. That's Frankenfurter. But
I thought everyone called you Tim Riggins.
See the
What?
resemblance. See the resemblance.
Do you actually know who that is? Because I didn't.
No, I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm just doing it for bullshit
wow.
continuity.
Y'all never watched Friday Night Lights? Texas Forever?
Well, quickly, before we get started, I would like to make the announcement now that it's 2019. We are no longer a Destiny podcast. We just talk about whatever I want.
Sure,
Every
I'll
week.
edit that podcast, right?
You don't edit this podcast anymore, you told me.
How does the episode happen, Hove, if it doesn't get edited? I think you're confused as to what the word edit means.
I have a dictionary.
Well, welcome everyone to episode 117. My week has been filled with not playing Destiny too much, although
You've been feeling these nuts.
That is not what I said. I've been feeling the banner for a little bit, before it was over, to get my helmet, which I did get. I'm glad I finished that out. And other than that, just completing my Forge quest, got to it, played it. That's about it. I haven't really done anything else. Haven't worked on comp at all. I just kind of keep doing other stuff right now. What about you guys? What does y'all's week look like?
It's pretty bland in the Destiny world. Iron Banner left, and I'm not like, oh, Iron Banner left, but like I was actually enjoying it this time around. I was one of the people that like wasn't like getting bullied by light level for once this time around. So that was fun while it lasted, and then I really have had no want to kind of go on. Like I do some Crucible matches every day and like kind of keep my thumbs, but like
yeah.
There's really nothing out there. I'm waiting for last word. All right, what do you got? What are you shaking your head for, Gilligan? All right.
I got nothing.
For our audio listeners, Hove has a Gilligan hat and DCP sunglasses on right now.
I wouldn't call it
Easy little buddy. All right.
Am I advertising for like the wrong podcast?
And if you are watching like via stream, what you can't see right now is that he's actually wearing Spanx as well. He let me know earlier.
Well,
that was a good one. Like a good job.
Tis the new year.
I don't know though. I don't know how I feel about your little jokes here. You're seeming like a little bit of a paradiddle to me. I'm not really excited about it.
Did you watch?
No, not a drummer term, Lego.
What?
Look it up.
Paradiddle is a drummer turn,
but not in this context.
Not in this context.
Not in the context, apparently.
Oh,
yeah.
Right, left, right, left.
I was referring to someone or something that is filled with pretentious nonsense.
Did you know that in percussion, like reading music, there's actually a paradiddle diddle?
Yes,
that's
I do.
actually like an actual rudiment.
Yeah.
I
actually like have a background in music, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought it was a fun word, like parallelogram.
It's not nearly as good as parallelogram. Don't you?
It's pretty good.
No,
Come
don't.
on.
not go there. I never made it past the flam playing percussion in like
Ooh.
the 5th or 6th grade.
You can't do a
The
flam?
flam diddle
Well, it's not that
is
I
pretty
couldn't,
good too.
I was not great at percussion. I was on like practice pad 4, which basically makes no noise. So like anytime we do a concert for our school, like I could just pound the shit out of the drum and nobody would know. So it was I think I failed the flam test and it was
I'm sorry, what did you say you pounded the shit out of?
the drum.
Oh, okay. Just check.
I was in 5th grade, Hove. Jeez.
Oh.
I had zero musical talent growing up. I
Zero
tried.
musical talent.
It's
Absolutely
hard.
zero talent.
It's hard.
It was rough.
I just want to bring up that the flam diddle is my favorite rudiment of all time. Like, it's actually the most fun to play to me. So thank you for bringing that up, Triton and Hove.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
Reminding me to get my flam
I just
diddles
want to
in.
make sure that you're happy and comfortable on this podcast.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I actually did have a week in
Let's get
Destiny.
uncomfortable.
I made sure that I used all of that essence of the dawning to get
Oh,
as
right.
many enhancement cores as I could. So I did try to do that. I think one day before the reset. Quick apologies to anyone who sends me an invite to play mostly during the day or early in the evening, as it is my kids absolutely getting powerful engrams from me playing PvE. So it has been great that I am 650 on basically every character. Not only that, but have multiple sets of armor and weapons now at 650. Very happy about that, but no good forge weapons yet. So I am still doing that. I did kill 2 minotaurs to now move that quest along to the, what I think is actually a new thing that I have to do for the quest, but don't really want to do it at all. So I after the 2 minotaurs, that didn't go anywhere. But I have been doing the other forges a little bit. Didn't do Iron Banner, but I did play a fair amount of Destiny, as always, pretty much with Mark Square in the morning. So shout out to Mark. Good times.
I do want to bring up that I got some good rolls this week. Iron Banner, actually. Not only did I get the helmet, but on the way, I also got 2 really awesome weapons, or at least, decently awesome. I got Criminal's Dagger, which is the new hand cannon that they brought back, but I got it with rangefinder and kill clip.
Me too.
You too? Really?
Yeah, and I still fucking hate it.
Really? I thought it was
Yeah,
all right.
sorry.
No. I think it's not as good as the Duke. That one's just
True.
awesome.
True.
And so I still think that's my favorite hand cannon of that archetype. But it looks cool. Like, I put the new shader that we got for veterans that has the like black camo, and it makes the Iron Wolf on it look gold around all the black, and so it looks pretty cool. So worth using for look factors alone. And then I also got, which I didn't get last time, was a good Bite of the Fox sniper. So I was just completing the bounties or whatever, and randomly at the end of a game, a Bite of the Fox drop with snapshot and opening shot, which
That's pretty nice.
is really nice. It feels
That's tasty.
good too using it. So I played around with it a little bit afterwards, and while it's not my favorite scope, just it was so sticky to people's heads that I didn't feel like.
Make sure you stick it to people's heads, because if you don't use it, you'll lose it.
Didn't feel like it was that hard to put my silicon aroma down when I had that thing, so it was nice to have something new to play with.
Dope.
I think.
Dope.
Do you have a silicon aroma? Hove?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Have you tried it? Do you?
I don't have one.
Oh, you don't.
No.
What Nightfall is that? I don't remember.
It's
Pyramidion.
Pyramidion, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I only said I had it because I thought you were going to shame me.
No, I'm not like you. I'm not gonna roll through my entire fucking vault and be like, I got kill clip rangefinder check.
Who wants kill clip
explosion, check.
rangefinder? God, no wonder
I
you're
just-
bad at this game.
I got a freaking sniper rifle with heat-seeking bullets.
Yeah.
You got all the good rolls.
Mm-hmm.
The heat-seeking, actually tracking rocket launcher was available this week too, which I already had a really good one because mine had rangefinder, actually, and tracking on my old Iron Banner one, and I really like that one because rangefinder on rocket launchers increases your velocity instead of like aim assist, so it's actually really nice. So I didn't go after the new one, just kept my
Is
old
Roar
one.
of the Boar good? I've never used it.
Yes.
It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. I cannot get a rocket launcher without quick draw and snapshot
or both.
quick or
Together.
Yeah, both. But both. Every freaking rocket launcher I get, dude, I cannot get away from those 2 perks. So when I saw that Homeboy was selling one, and I looked at it, and I think one of the perks on it was quick draw. I was like, fuck that. I don't want anything to do with that thing, man. Like, this is my curse. Like,
Triton, that rocket launcher is max impact, so that's great. But then also the velocity can be upped with certain perks, and then you can get tracking on it. And so mine having the rangefinder helps out with the velocity problem, but the blast radius is maxed. So it's pretty dang good with the tracking on it. It's probably the best legendary one I have as far as, PvP is considered, because, I think you'd still want cluster bombs over that for anything else.
Cluster bombs only seem to kill me in PvP. I'll hit somebody with cluster bombs, and that son of a bitch hunter, he'll do his little reload shade step as everything is just exploding around him, and he reads the Matrix because he's
like DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, you need a freaking fly swatter for those hunters. They're so like
resemblance.
Yeah,
but yeah, and then like one of those tiny little cluster bombs is like 5 feet from me, and my guardian's like drops dead.
It's probably because he's high.
No, dude, my guardian's clean, man.
No, he's not. There's no way in hell. There's no way in hell.
He is high on light.
Oh God, I'm done with you. That's fine. Lego was asking for cocaine before the podcast. Lego
was not. I was pointing out that Wilson had some Coca-Cola. That's all.
So now you're calling Wilson a cocaine.
This is not an ad placement. I promise.
Ooh, speaking of,
that would be cool though.
Speaking of not ad placement, I probably made the best meal I've ever had today from HelloFresh.
I can actually concur this. You sent me a picture of it, and it
looks pretty good.
Fine.
It does look
It's so good. It was breaded pork chops with ciabatta garlic bread and apple, arugula, and sunflower seed salad.
All right.
It was the best thing I've ever eaten in my life. Well,
really?
Yeah.
That you've made, or just overall?
Definitely that I've made. I mean, it wasn't like as fancy or like excitingly good as, because it's pretty basic stuff, but like it was really
greens
good.
Make it look a little nicer. Green makes it look a little bit more elegant.
It was
sure.
It was so good.
Speaking of being elegant, I just thought of Wilson. Have you used the new bow from the new Forge yet? No.
Do you want to use mine?
I haven't even gotten it.
Do you want to use mine?
I'm not talking about the exotic one, Hove. I'm talking about like the bow that you get. Which
Hove, I don't want to use yours.
I was being serious. I was trying to be serious. I was trying to, because I know that you like bows and we're friends, so I wanted you to get to use it. I was just
not even the exotic one, because I'm sure that's cool, but the actual like the bow that you can re-roll and everything, like it is massive. It goes down to the foot of your character when you have it equipped, and it goes up like way above your head. It's so huge. I just wanted
Warcraft shit.
Yeah, it does. It looks very fantastical.
Makes you look very ornacious.
Yeah, so it's intense. It's a faster draw time than the normal kinetic one that's in your primary slot. Like it's a little faster, a little lower damage. But it feels snappy, and what I really like about it is that when you pull it back, you know how you have that little timer that shows you the perfect time to shoot? So it is like this bright red light, like you can't miss it. Like I feel like the other ones, the little green thing or whatever is on them, you could kind of miss it or not pay attention to it. And this is like, shoot now, blinking red light at you, like the most obvious thing. So that's kind of nice. I like that anyway.
It does look good.
Hove showing off
like
his
a meal fit
right
for
now.
The meal looks pretty good.
Thanks.
It looks pretty good.
He's even got a little lemon slice in there, like he's trying to be
Yeah,
high
no,
class
like a
and
little-
shit. Like you did anything with that lemon slice other than put it in there for sake of the picture.
Then throw it away.
Well, actually, the other half of the lemon was squeezed into the arugula and apple salad, and then I used that as a garnish to squeeze onto the pork chops.
Yeah,
You are an Iron Chef.
Yeah.
Bobby Flay eats you alive.
Didn't Gordon Ramsay come back for season 2
Potentially.
this year?
I don't even know what you're talking about. Bobby Flay's
All right.
We're
lame.
talking about.
Remember
Iron Chef?
Emerald? What happened to Emerald?
Bam!
Yeah, he was big. Or Rachel Ray, she went away too.
Well, that's because she was annoying.
I don't know what y'all are talking about either.
Pretty sure she got
What,
preggo
like
too,
cooking?
so she got kids now.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't watch cooking shows.
No, but neither do I.
I just made that up. I don't know if she actually did have children.
Oh, okay. Well, that was very convincing, though. Wilson. Oh, okay. Well.
Oh, speaking of Wilson convincing people, we had several requests for a Wilson conspiracy corner.
Conspiracy corner. Yeah.
So that's gonna be another segment we're gonna do. Pretty much, Lego. You're not gonna have a Destiny podcast anymore.
Well, Wilson said he wanted to get some people woke.
No, I said people aren't ready to be #woke. I have not had time to prepare.
Oh,
now
okay.
If you just have me go off tonight with nothing to prepare, I'm just gonna look like that crazy guy on the corner with the sign that says "The end is here." Like that's.
Or the crazy guy in the quad with the sign that's like, convince me.
I'm just the crazy guy.
Yeah.
Right?
So crazy guy either scenario apparently.
Prove me wrong.
So Lego, I thought you were gonna come in with the help make Wilson film. You just change the location of the crazy guy.
Yeah. No, I'm not bringing us back. I'm just taking us further.
So do we want to hear the story about how I got the nickname Cockout yet?
No.
No.
Interest is low.
Use our imagination.
No, it's a funny story. It's one of my favorite stories.
You haven't told us about your week, really, so, I mean, go ahead.
Did it happen this week?
Yeah, it happened this week. No, I don't know. The holidays and stuff. I honestly haven't played too much Destiny. I finished out the Overwatch season, and been playing some PUBG. Lego made me get it on console, and it's awful, but I still play it.
Did you get to Diamond?
No, I got to like 2990, and then like back down and back up and back down.
On
and
the
then,
cusp.
And then I placed. Guess what I placed this season? Like a day later, and I killed it in my play. We lost. We went 3-7, but we were playing with randoms.
Losing doesn't really matter as much.
Guess what I
anymore.
placed?
I mean, it helps. To, what?
25-10.
Really?
I placed like 2780 last season. The lowest. That's the lowest I've ever placed.
Yeah. That
Can you explain for someone who doesn't play Overwatch what
kinda just, like,
any of
you
that
know
means?
Nobody
Last
fucking
season
knows how
in
the ranking
consideration.
system
Well, yeah.
works. You just want to win and do your job. If
Okay.
you're a DPS, you want a DPS. If you're healers, get screwed, man. They need to rework that. Like, it needs to. Like, I think they should encourage people to want to be the healer because you can potentially heal people the most and farm. So it's like performance-based Lego. Like, I've lost games. Lost shit tons of placement games. So you do 10 placement games and it decides where to throw you in. I've lost tons of placement games and finished super high, just under or mid platinum or something.
Which is
like that,
2500 to 3000. That's platinum.
Yeah. And then there's times that we've won all of our games and I've finished low platinum or whatever. And it sometimes it seems consistent and sometimes it doesn't, but I always played one character, Hanzo, but the healers really get freaking screwed. And I feel like it should be in competitive, it should be no, I want to heal, no, I want to heal. People should be arguing over support characters and tanks, how much damage you absorb. I don't know if that's worked into the algorithm or something like that, but it's performance based as well. You can lose the game, but you could have had a great game. You know what I mean? I could have got a shit ton of picks. Hove could have done a lot of healing, or Triton could have blocked a lot of incoming attacks or damage with Reinhardt, or someone. And so it's kind of all over the place. The algorithm's kind of
Nobody knows.
Secret sauce. Yeah, it's a secret sauce.
And then you have all season to win and lose and move up and down as.
Yeah. There's no decay though, correct?
After you hit.
So you get way up there.
I don't think it starts in. Does it start in Diamond? I never hit. I'm so close.
Yeah.
But anyway, once you get to a certain, whether it's Diamond or Masters, then there's decay. If you get into that and don't play, you start just losing rank.
Yeah.
Which there's also decay in Destiny's comp stuff, but supposedly, because I thought when I finished off, I was at 3,500. I thought this, not last season, I'm talking this season, I grinded a lot at the beginning, got pretty far up there, and me and Litlin were talking about it because he's one of the guys that goes pretty hard with me in comp, and he was right behind me, and he was like, I've been playing a lot, I think I caught up to you, and he was like, I'm at 32 or 33 or something right now, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm at 35 when I left, and he was like, well, decay should have hit you because you haven't played in a few weeks, so you'll probably be around mine. And I went, he was like, you should check it, and I checked it, and I was at 3,600, and I was like, wait,
Didn't people
I
get a
swear I
bonus
was at
somewhere?
35. And I think that when I left, like the next week, it gives you bonus points for having played. And I think the bonus points are so much more than the decay that I
Yes.
actually gained
At least
points.
over that.
It's
Well,
also
does
like
the-
losing. Like if you really wanted to keep that rank, you could play one game a week, lose it, and as long as you don't back out early, you'll get rewarded at next reset.
I think
and
it's
it
like
should-
3 games or something like that. But
Oh,
I
is
don't
it
know.
3?
I can't remember.
Is it similar to Overwatch where decay doesn't affect you until you hit a certain rank?
Maybe, but I'm.
They don't make it sound that way.
No, they don't
Yeah,
make
they
it
don't-
sound
they
that
don't
way.
make it- it's not advertised that way.
Maybe
Yeah.
it does, but if it is, they're not giving us the details on that.
I think
I think
Lego's a
Wilson's
cheater.
right with 3 games though, because I only played 2 with
That was
PDP
Lego.
before this reset, and I did not get any bonus points on Tuesday. So
Yeah, Lego was. Yeah, I think you're right, Lego. That would make sense. Instead of just dipping in, playing one game, and then getting out for the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't
Right,
tend to do
but-
stuff like that.
No, but yeah, I've been playing mostly a lot of Overwatch. I've really been kind of back into it. I've been expanding. I may now be a Doomfist main. That's a possibility. I love me some
gross.
I never
Doomfist.
played Doomfist.
Mostly I started playing him to troll people, and I actually like if I get the right healer with me, I'm actually pretty good at it. So we'll see.
Yeah, if he's it's very rhythm and timing based.
And it's very hit or miss because he's only a 250 health hero, and if you go in and miss your attacks, you don't get any. Like if you hit them, you get a shield.
It
If you
rewards a
don't,
skilled
you're fucked.
hand. Like I mean, like that's kind of the point of all characters. But let's be real. There's some characters that are easier to play than others. Like
Oh yeah.
there's kind of like your entry level characters, and then there's like the same character. Like once you get really good with that character, you know the higher echelon of players kind of shows you a way that you can play characters that you may have never known. But yeah, he's.
Do you
He's
know
a
what
hard
you should
character
do
to
with
play.
us, Lego, one day?
Play Overwatch?
I mean, not necessarily because I mean, yeah, I think you would like it if you really because it takes some time. You can't
I've
just.
watched it so much, and
Oh, that's
nothing
what I was
about
gonna
it,
say.
like,
I wanted you to watch
intrigues me.
Overwatch League. What have you watched?
Just streamers play or the big league competitions that
You watched
happen.
Overwatch League?
Yeah.
Oh
It
man,
was on TV.
I like Overwatch League a lot actually.
Yeah, I actually do enjoy it when it's on.
It's
I don't know.
it's so much more of like a chess game when you get up to those high levels. Like, oh, so and so has this character. Like, we need to counter it, and you switch characters, and there's just so much like thinking
Yeah.
going on.
I don't know.
It's almost like an FPS MOBA, like just countering characters. Like you know, maybe not a MOBA, but
I think I have no history in MOBAs, and so
Neither do
that
I.
might be why I don't know.
Like I said,
Really,
my
like,
big thing.
It's a first-person shooter first
Absolutely.
and foremost.
Yeah.
And then it's just like certain characters, like they make a character, like the entire base set of vanilla characters, like Hope said, they all have counters in mind. You know what I mean? Like there's certain people, like a Widow counter is 100% Hanzo. At least that was my job. My main job was a counter snipe. And then there's people like Genji, who is like Hanzo's brother in game, who's actually my counter, and like a few other people. And there's people who can counter him, you know, like Mei can freeze him with his gun and keep a very fast, agile DPS character still for a few seconds for everyone to
Somewhat
turn on.
correct.
And it's like Hope says, it's definitely got some chess-like qualities, and like it's like a battle of attrition kind of versus just straight kill count.
Oh, absolutely.
So
and
would you? I've heard the argument before that a few people have wanted Destiny to be more Overwatch in its strategy between races and classes and stuff like that.
you can't.
Is that something that y'all
Yeah.
would want or never?
I mean, they
No,
did
do
some
that.
kind of cool stuff, like we had talked about, like the healing grenade on the Warlock.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like Overwatch was the only place to ever do it, but like that's in Overwatch. When you can get the barrier with Sentinel now, it was kind of reminiscent of Reinhardt. There was some stuff thrown in there like that, but no, I mean they're totally different. There's no.
Yeah, the thing that Destiny reminds me of with its classes and like healing stuff with the Warlock and everything, it's so simplified. It reminds me like the way in Battlefield, at least Battlefield 4, somewhat in the new Battlefield 5, you would like have a medic class or a support class that handed out ammo or just had a bulkier gun to control a different side of the map. Like that's more the kind of variety I expect from Destiny. I don't know if I would want my Titan to be cornered into a specific play style because I kind of like being able to be either the guy that sits back or uses that, or is really good with a hand cannon. Like, what if hunters were the only class that were good with hand cannons? You know, that would segment the community in a big way, and I don't know if people would like that overall.
That's why I liked playing Hanzo, was because like he's not a defensive, he's a defensive character, like, but he has like super low health, but you have to like pick your opportunities to like flank. Like, you got to land your shots.
It's like a single shot high damage type of thing. Like,
yeah,
because you're
like,
squishy.
Yeah, and I don't know, I had a lot of fun. It was fun like getting the flank. It was fun being the a defensive character that can dish out some incredible DPS if you land your shots and you're consistent and you're communicating with your team and you got a good healer. That's huge. You got to have a good healer on you. And it's a lot of the other characters. Like, I mean, I tried like Reinhardt a few times. Like, you definitely, like, if you're trying to win, you go into comp in that game, like, you definitely got to have like be playing like your main characters and stuff like that. And
I feel like Hanzo to Reinhardt's a really tough one too, because with Hanzo you kind of like do your own thing and you're starting the action, you're taking these shots, whereas Rein, you have to be very patient. You know what I mean? Like, it's totally different, and that's why I have a hard time with Rein.
You got to time those shoulder charges too, man.
Yeah, you can shoulder charge Lego.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily.
It's a charging rifle.
It's there's no fusion rifle, no.
No fusion rifles.
Yeah.
No, I know. Just the timing and patience of things, like, that is the fusion rifle playstyle.
Absolutely. And like, whereas like Destiny is like a high octane run and gun, high kill count. You can get a lot of high kills in an Overwatch game, but it's definitely more team based. Like,
yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, Lego, you've proven. I mean, like, Destiny's very team-based too, don't get me wrong. Like, a team that's on point and in like moving as one, like, is very hard to counter. But like Lego, we've all done it, but like Lego's proven it many times in his montages, like what one person is capable of in Destiny. Like, there's very little of that in Overwatch. Like, someone will go in with their super and wipe a few people out, but like it's very few and far between that like one person can turn the tide of battle. Like, they can hold a control zone for just long enough for someone else to get there and back them up, but there's very few like hero moments.
That's what it looked like whenever I was watching the league. It was like, you know, the announcers were calling out what was happening, and I had to listen to them because one person like camera view didn't really make a difference when they went to like I think they did that during the league. They had like the overview spectator view kind of thing. Like, that helped me more than anything. Be like, okay, this is what's happening.
Well,
you know?
and it's also like with what Wilson was saying, and kind of the like chess game thing. Like, there's so many, like, maybe, you know, Wilson's a good Hanzo main. Okay, so his ult, which is like a super, he shoots this arrow that turns into these giant dragons that fairly slowly go through the map. So if you just shoot that, people are gonna be like, "Oh, I hear this coming. Let me move," and you're not gonna get anything. But for instance, like Zarya's ult,
the key with the Koa. Yeah, that's what he says. They hear the audio cue of
so,
the super.
So like,
the key with the Koa.
There's another character called Zarya who throws this like just this ball, and it pulls. It's like but it pulls everybody in and like holds them there. So like, if me and Wilson are playing, and I'm like, oh, you know, I'm gonna grab on the point. He just starts the dragons. I throw it. They all get grouped together, and they sit in his dragons and wipe the whole team.
That's a good one.
So like, there's a lot of really. It's way more intricate and in depth than Destiny in that type of gameplay, and that's what took me a long time. Like, I bought it the very first day it came out. I played it for like literally an hour, and having no experience in any kind of like class-based, not even MOBAs, but like with just all these different things, I was like, this is dumb.
You're a solo warrior playing the solo team
so then
deathmatch.
6 months later, I tried it again, and I was okay. And then for whatever reason, when we started kind of all playing, me, Wilson, Sam, Dewey, Mega, Spiffy, I kind of started to learn some of those, Marcus. I kind of started to learn some of those, you know, groupings and stuff. And it's, honestly, it takes some time. It would literally take you probably at least a couple weeks of like playing here and there to really figure out, because there's like, what, 25 characters now?
There's a lot.
And you might only like 2 or 3, you know?
There's only one. Start with Hanzo.
Do not start with Hanzo.
Start with Hanzo. Is a precision.
Litlin's saying I should play Sim in chat.
Symmetra's cool.
Toxic.
Do you know what you guys reminded me of just now though is, I know we haven't talked about like competitive Destiny in a long time. I'm talking like watchability of Destiny, because the watchability of Destiny's gone down. Like I'll sit in a comp, like ZK's stream or something, like somebody who's really good at comp, and watch them play for a little while, or if TV's playing comp, something like that. I'll sit in and watch that. But could you imagine like if there was some sort of tournament mode like trials, but you had a spectator mode where you could actually see like both teams? Like, could you imagine watching that on Skype, like what that would be like at the call outs and stuff, for like seeing both teams move and how they're moving and how much more we learn as players, if we could see that kind of information?
Did you guys watch any Halo tournaments back in the day?
No.
I watched some. Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
So they had that like this I don't think it was until Halo 3 that like Forge mode came around.
Yeah.
You can make your own maps.
Oh, I love that.
And some of the most wild and incredible shit came out of those maps that you didn't even have to pick up a gun to have a blast. Like, yes, some of the best and most memorable PvP maps were both made by Bungie and the community. But like things like dodgeball, like only sticky grenades, no guns. There's a line in the middle of, like, you physically for whatever reason can't cross it because there's like they added in like you could do things with physics, like just everything. It was a fully custom game. And it was dodgeball with sticky grenades. You got hit, the grenade blew up, you're out of the game. Like, you literally couldn't spawn in, and then you could spectate. You were it was called a monitor. You turned into like a little monitor, which would be like the equivalent of like a ghost in Destiny. And you could fly around. Get all these different angles and stuff like that. And they would find some of the most like played custom maps of the month or of the week, and then Bungie would highlight them. So when you logged into multiplayer, it was like, check out the top 5 voted custom maps of the week or something, and they would promote these cool. Game types and stuff like that. But getting back to the tournament thing, they had that spectator mode that was in Forge mode, and they could fly around. So like picture like an isometric above view of Legion's Gulch going across like 2 teams fighting on that bridge for heavy, just being able to make the call out of Hoves in the back laning with the sniper rifle, Legos doing the dolphin dive, going for power and things like that. It just makes the call out so much better than, like, I don't know, it'd be cool. And I'm not gonna say like we should have that, but it'd be really cool if we did. And I know it's a completely different engine than Halo, but like, dude, they wrote the book on like custom games and like matchmaking. And...
I mean, they made multiplayer what it is nowadays for a lot of intents purposes. So,
which I mean, kind of that gets me like really excited thinking about the future of Destiny. But as far as like going into the new year, and we're all playing all these other games right now, some of us are playing PUBG or Battlefield 5 or Overwatch, all this stuff. What do you think? Because right now, I was thinking about, I don't want to rehash the way Black Armory has been going, because I feel like we covered it pretty well. The one thing that I did think about that I couldn't put it into words, I don't feel like last week, like what was keeping me from playing, and I was thinking about it as I was playing it this week, and I was like, the activity, like, who is these kind of activities made for? Because I don't feel like I'm enjoying this. Like, why is it not for me? I think part of it is as a multiplayer player, like a player versus player, but PvP. Also, yes, I couldn't get the words out. But also, there's a lot of people in Destiny that before this even they go for their milestones, getting their light level up, getting new powerful gear that way, or getting exotics to drop they would do the milestones. And Triton, you may do a little bit of this, but like on every character, getting the milestones done, so that way it's spread out and it's like the most efficient way to go up and more chance of getting everything you could possibly get. And I am not the kind of person to do milestones at all. Like, even last DLC, before not even getting to 600, I just kind of played the game the way I wanted to, and if I went up in light level or got new things, that was great. I just played the content I wanted to play. So playing the milestone type stuff isn't an incentive for me. And I feel like the quest to like get these weapons, or at least to get to the forges, you know, I'm kind of done with that now. But even just to get the weapons, you have to go and kill a certain thing and then go back to the tower and then go to the forge. It seems more like milestone type stuff, and maybe is more that kind of incentive. And so, you know, I'm hoping that the question that I kind of wanted to pose to y'all, coming into the new year and coming into hopefully some new stuff with the season pass with Destiny, what is it that you would want to see that would be the kind of activity that would draw you back in? Because we also got a new raid, but some of us aren't big raiders. There's even a joke on Twitter. Nava posted that he's going to force me to play PvE content for a week and do an episode about
That's
it.
not a joke.
What's happening?
And
PvP rehab. Is what we're
so
doing.
yeah, I'm just curious, what is it for y'all that would really bring y'all back in and keep you playing consistently and enjoying it?
Well, for me, like, I mean, Hove mentioned it, you know, kind of, you know, for me a little bit last week, that I think no matter what, we're always going to get diminishing returns the farther the game goes on, especially when there's not anything that, you know, changes so much. You know, I feel like a new activity, I don't want to say is, I mean, that would be great, but it's also kind of something that might sit outside the plans of what Bungie has, right? And we know this time period for them has traditionally always been a time where, you know, they're taking, you know, rightfully deserved vacation and so forth as well. So not a lot of new stuff's happening. But for me, I think one of the things they could do is, and I posed this maybe on Brothercast, but definitely on Twitter, that I'd be for flexing some of the powerful engrams into something you like doing, because maybe you only like Gambit, but you don't want to sit around and wait till Ice and Shadow pops up. Maybe you only like to do strikes at this point, or maybe you only like to do the adventures at this point. If there was some of those engrams that could be like maybe flexed to that activity, I would be more for that, because I really would. Can you imagine if you took away maybe the engrams from an activity and put them into all 5 games of your quick play or competitive? So you knew that all 5 games of your first PvP experience would net you powerful engrams, and you're at a point where you don't want to play a ton of Destiny, and when you do, you want to do the one activity that you do enjoy that currently exists. I think that would be something that, you know, again, from a programming standpoint, have no clue how easy that is or isn't, but it isn't a new activity, but it is a way to kind of continue on with the grind to keep up a little bit, but specifically for what you're trying to do, what you do enjoy most for the game. I would be for that, because I would be someone who would maybe sign on and be like, all right, well, maybe I will do the 3 strikes, but it's nice to have all 3 be rewarding to me. I also think, just quickly, a side note on the strikes, take away the must have the same subclasses with someone else, because everyone, I run into so many people that need Arc still for the loaded question in this week's Solar, so I basically just ran Arc the whole time. I mean, even though it's Solar, so can that be changed? Just a quick aside, but I think that would be something I would be for. I know it's not completely answering your question, Lego, but within the framework of what we do have available, I would have an incentive to at least come back each week if that were the case. No, I mean, I do anyways. I mean, I do play to get, I think I always get the Dreaming City stuff done. You know, I do like to have a lot of my vault and a lot of what I have on my characters be at the highest light level. But I would have an incentive to maybe play a little bit more if every activity I wanted to do netted me something that was rewarding.
Yeah, for me, I don't even know if it has to do with reward stuff. It has to do more with the content. And I think playing through this Black Armory stuff has made me realize when I didn't think I was on this train, so it's really interesting. But how much I miss just basic story content. Like I'm not even talking about cutscenes and stuff. Like, I love the way that we got our information through the Queen every week, or every 3 weeks basically, and that was incentive for me to do that stuff. And I honestly, like, I know a lot of people have said on other podcasts that the blind well is kind of boring, wasn't a fun activity, but I personally didn't mind doing it and had fun doing it to get to the story stuff that the Queen was going to give me that week. Like, I'll for sure do it every week. I think the Queen's going to show up, because I am hungry for that story dialogue, even if it's just a line of dialogue and gets my imagination rolling. I don't even have to see anything.
How pissed was Ghost, by the way?
Oh yeah,
he's been a little ornery lately.
And so that is like an area of content. Like, I thought that maybe for Black Armory we would get some of that with Ada, where she would reveal new stuff, but it's kind of just like, hey, thanks for completing the thing. Like, I don't feel like there's a story element at all there in the lore. I'm sure
I think
there is,
it's coming.
Yeah, that's just a long
Being
time
drip-fed, maybe,
to
like-
keep us coming. Yeah.
I mean, like for me, Last Word's gonna help.
Yeah.
Like when Last Word comes out, I'm hoping that it's gonna be a bit of like, I don't want to call it like, oh, it's gonna be a meta shakeup, but I think like a CQC like shakeup, like it may be the weapon that I need for like close to close mid range,
Ooh,
and then
yeah.
Rocket Sniper might really help with that. But like, dude, I hate to harp on it because it's a dead horse at this point. But Trials, man, just I
Yeah.
miss my weekend warriors, dude. I miss sacking up and getting out there and just being some road dogs, just a pack of hungry guardians ready to stomp out 7 to 9 games in case, you know, someone forgets to boon. I guess you don't really, there's no boons anymore. Damn it.
Well,
But, like,
hopefully
you
there
get what
will
I'm
be
saying?
some
You get what I'm
boons, yeah.
saying?
No, boons were
I
stupid.
feel you. That was the thing that I was gonna say, Wilson, but I didn't want to harp on it again. It's same thing. Like I am totally with you. And also I had kind of thought of the story one afterwards, but definitely like some PvP help, new map, new anything on the PvP side. In chat, they're talking a lot about, you know, how we were talking about Halo custom matches with the Forge and,
Dude.
you know, building your own stuff. Like if you really let the give the community some kind of tools to just kind of go off, and I'm sure they would go off.
This is really out there, and it'll never happen. Like the Forge thing will probably never happen, but like a Strike Forge would be dope. Like, I
Oh
mean,
my gosh, could you
know,
imagine?
if something, even if it's like in the scope of like that thing that we got for Festival of the Lost. What was that called in the Infinite
the Haunted
Forest?
Forest. Yeah.
That
Even
was
if it was
cool.
something
I liked that.
Yeah.
I liked
even
it
if
too.
I liked that too. It was
Yeah.
fun, and like it'd be cool if like even if it was like small little baby strikes, maybe call them incursions or something. That's Division.
The Division.
There's lots of
Well,
words. Speaking of words, you guys
yeah,
suck at using your words
tussles.
this week.
Okay, I was about to put one in there but you know, I missed my window.
About to put one in there.
Well, I mean, I still could because
There's so
you
many
know.
good words I put out there this week. I'm so disappointed.
I was supposed to. Well, I mean, you know, well now I can't reveal it, but I had them
Yeah.
all set up too, and it just only got one so far. I mean,
I just don't know how I'm gonna work taking a sploop in there. Like,
You just did.
Well, Wilson mentioned trials, and I'd be like, we miss those moments where your butt is clenching so tight that you can't get a
Toit.
rectal thermometer in there. So that was my window. But then Wilson Lego kind of took over the convo, and it didn't seem to fit.
You gotta be quick.
Well, I
Can
mean,
get it in.
I was kind of quick about... What is this motion, Lego?
I don't know. I didn't. Oh, so you reminded me. You kind of look like you put your pinky in the air, and that reminded me that song that's like super popular right now on the radio. I didn't realize that the lyrics were put your pinky in the air to it, but now I can't remember the melody of the song. So
What
I'm
are
not
you
gonna sing
talking about?
it. Just
Yeah,
a pop song that's out right now. I didn't realize that was the name of the song, or that was the lyrics. Anyway,
Sing it. I don't know the song. I want to hear it.
I don't remember. I can't.
You're
I
a
just
liar.
was thinking about the
Don't
lyrics. No, I'm
pressure
serious.
him.
You know I would.
It'll
I just
come
can't.
later on.
It'll come to me later. Yeah, I'll remember it.
I don't know anything about you
will
anymore.
serenade to me first. All right. I compliment his eyes. I was just about to say I'd compliment yours if I could see them. But then you read my fucking mind.
I did, because we're linked.
Yeah, I miss running to trials every weekend. That was like
Yeah, man.
huge incentive to keep your skills up, just for even the weekend. You know, playing for the weekend. That was
a
a
lot of
thing.
fun.
Yeah.
New
Hove, what
strikes
about
are
you?
cool.
What?
Black spindle type stuff would be.
Oh yeah, that too, Wilson.
They said they were coming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
apparently
true.
there are secrets coming.
I mean, there's been
Touche.
secrets. There's been like those boxes with the keys and the locks and all that stuff. I mean,
But not like secret areas though.
no, but I'm saying, but there's been secrets. And to be fair,
Yeah.
they didn't say they were going to be secret areas. They said they were going to be secrets.
No, I know.
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying what I want, and what they showed was a ton of clips from the Whisper mission.
Yeah,
So
I think-
that was
I think it was
they
kind of
directly-
outlined like that. I mean, Hope is
Yeah.
right, but I also think they did say too. I
course I'm
think
right.
the secrets we're talking about that.
Oh,
Yes. I think they
which Niobe
referenced
Labs
that.
is coming out soon, and we have no idea like what that's gonna be even.
Better be good.
Do we need to get the third forge unlocked? Probably. 'cause I
Probably.
better-
Probably.
I better do that then.
What you eating,
Kill them
Wilson?
Minotaurs.
What you eating? I want. It looks good. What is it?
Having some oranges and some apples.
Ooh.
Healthy.
Look at you.
Right now for doing that.
The Niobe Labs is not. They confirmed that's not another forge, so it's something different entirely. So I'm curious what that will be.
What if it's guns that you can make in a lab?
What if it's making test tube babies?
Anyone's guess at this point.
Yeah, I don't. It could be anything, I guess.
What if it's a place you go and you make custom strikes and PvP maps?
Dude, Wilson, you got me so hyped for that because I was thinking about like what it would be.
What
like.
if it was?
No. You know, in Super Mario, they redid on the Wii. I think it was they made like a Super Mario Creator where you like
Mario Maker.
Yeah, Super Mario Maker. So what if you had that? That just made me think. Like, could you imagine people making these crazy, difficult platformer strikes or something like that? You know, that just putting the enemies in certain places that were just insane to try and get through. That just sounds so much fun to create some ridiculous challenge.
Yeah, people do that with like ROM hacks for Mario,
like Little Big Planet,
saying stuff like that. Yeah,
that'd be pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'd be dope, man, to make just like ridiculously hard encounters in Destiny. Maybe even like, I don't know, limit people's loadouts, something like. I don't know. It'd be cool, and it'd be really. It almost have to be at this point. It almost seems like it would have to be a game of itself.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you right now, if you made that, put it on a disc, and slapped like $50 on that bitch, people'd buy it. If that's what it was, $40-$50 on that, like just the ability to do all that custom stuff for tournaments and shits and giggles, like. It was so much fun being able to alter the physics of the game and make like one character move super duper fast, and like so you put like one guy up against like 6 of us. One guy's just zipping around the map super fast, so the 6 of you got to like stay together and communicate. It's a lot of fun. Be cool.
Oh. Speaking of a lot of fun, Black Talon is still really fun. I know I mentioned it last week, but that something about that sword feels so great. And when you're on the ground, if you're on physically like feet on the ground, you can do like a double swipe and send 2 projectiles out really fast. It does a ton of boss damage, and it's just really fun. Like, I always feel awesome when I'm doing it. Like, I feel like a legend that Destiny wants me to be whenever I'm using that. So I use that all this week to finish out the quest stuff for the last forge, and like completing the new forge for the first time and everything. I used that, and it was so much fun. I can't recommend that thing enough.
Ever talk about the fact that you got Wavesplitter and whether you enjoyed it or not?
We didn't, and I got it, and it's boring. I agree. It's so boring.
Who are you agreeing with?
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
I can't believe it. It's actually boring. Like, it kills so fast, but it takes no satisfaction.
No, that's what I mean. No. It's very good, but it's just
it's
dumb.
So weird.
I think it'd be a lot more fun if they gave me like 10 times the amount of ammo for it.
No, it'd still be boring.
Stupid.
No, not even that. It's the way that it works, and the way it kills a player. I feel like if maybe it just, whenever it gets the final blow, if some sort of explosion happened, it didn't have to hurt people around, but like they just fly backwards when you finally get the final laser beam on them. That would just something. Like, it just feels like I'm just shooting like a little tickler gun that does a ton of damage, and then they're just kind of disappear.
Make it do like a when you actually get like the killing blow on them, make it do like a tractor cannon sort of thing where it knocks them back, and if they hit a wall, it's like a firefight explosion or something. That'd be freaking hilarious.
That sounds really cool, actually.
That'd be amazing. Like, if they're already dead, you have to get the killing blow, knocks them back. If they hit a wall, it's a little firefight explosion.
Dude, I want a sniper rifle that does that. Like some sort of exotic special weapon sniper rifle that when you headshot someone, it doesn't cause an explosion right away, but their body, like flying backwards, will blow up whatever it hits. That sounds amazing. That sounds so much fun.
That'd be dope. Make it happen.
Oh, so Wavesplitter. What I think it is, it doesn't have the Destiny feel. You know how all these guns, they have that right amount of recoil, the sound and everything. It just makes them feel good. Wavesplitter, I don't feel like has that. Like it just doesn't have the Destiny feel.
No.
Triton, I feel like you have the most experience with it out of all of us.
Really good
Because you've had it the longest.
I mean, we're trying to win comp games, and everyone.
No. I'm not calling you out as like a negative thing. I'm saying, like, do you feel like
I have used it a ton.
Do you feel that way about it though?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess, but like, I mean, I do, because when I first got it, and Hove and I talked about it, I think, a couple episodes ago. I mean, it is like that. But I mean, I got to the point with it where we were playing comp games and things like that, and so I was just like, well, it's helping us win games, just because it pairs well. If people are like all trying to like ape somebody, if you're playing with like good shotgunners and you're flowing with the team together, then as you're just basically putting them within like really ridiculously dumb shotgun distance to get basically an assist, it does work really well. So I started thinking about it more that way as we were on way to getting Lunas and everything else, or you to get Legend again this season, is that like, how can I best use something that's like super simple, there's absolutely no recoil to it whatsoever, there's range fall off on it, like you're shooting people from everywhere. So it's not my funnest thing to use.
I have a question for you guys. This conversation,
before you ask, does your question have to do with that weapon, Hove? Because you never answered my original question. So,
what was the original question?
Well, what would keep you playing? What kind of activities keep you playing Destiny?
I don't have an opinion.
That's not true. You're on a podcast to talk about your opinions. I know you have an opinion, Hove.
No, not really. Like, I don't want it to be something that I already have in my mind, because that means we already did it. And I'm not a developer. I don't create things. I would rather let them do it. And if I like it, I like it. I didn't have any idea Trials was the best thing that's happened in Destiny. I didn't think to myself, man, I want a 3v3 elimination with a tournament, like a ladder style. Like, I didn't know any of that. Like, I hope they continue to, what's the word I'm looking for? Innovate. Yeah. And it's exciting. But
I agree with what you're saying, but I'm not asking for you to make up something. I know me and Wilson kind of went off on something there, but I was just talking about something that I felt was missing from Black Army, and that was a story, something that I like, oh man, I really loved that. There isn't something that you feel like Trials story, anything that isn't here right now.
I want things back. I want new stuff. And I want them... Maybe this just sounds like a stuck-up consumer, but it's not like I'm mad about it, but like, I just want them to do their thing. Like, I don't know what they should do next.
Yeah. No, I think that's I don't think that sounds stuck up at all. I think that if anything, that's kind of what Bungie wants to hear. Like, they're I don't mean
that means like whatever they put out is just going to be, I'm going to just be like, oh, this is great. But I want them to just come up with some new shit that I haven't thought of. I don't want stuff that I already can think. Like, I want stuff that I'm like, oh my god, like, what? That is so cool. Like, I didn't know anything about that. I didn't think of that.
So you want I'm just curious. Like, you just got me thinking. Like, you would rather have something new over having Trials back, like Elimination from D1?
Yeah.
Wow. I don't feel that way. So it's interesting to hear your opinion.
I mean, Trials was great, but we played it for 3 years.
Oh, right. We had this conversation at the end of D1 because we were all like, yeah, I'd love for Trials to come back. And you were like, no, I need it to be different in D2. And then we got it different, and it was more awful.
Like
but it wasn't different. Like, it wasn't different. It was just the same, but converted to how it had to fit D2.
I don't know. There were things different about it, too. Like, no boons and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the boons were stupid. Everyone had enough coins that it was just 7.
Going flawless. Yeah,
but again,
and not even in a sense of like, I mean, like, yeah, of course, if you lose a game, but like, how many games has like somebody disconnected, and that's like the whole reason why, and it cost you a flawless. Like the forgiveness boon was good, but you're absolutely right. The other one that gives you a win, and your first win counts as 2.
Yeah,
like, those were redundant.
Yeah,
redundant would be a good.
And actually, we did have this conversation, Lego, because you and I argued that yes, they had different things around it, the way the loot worked and all that, but the game mode was just, do you know what I mean? Like, it was still Trials.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just giving you a hard time because I like blaming the new Trials on you. That's all.
All right.
Yeah.
Wilson looked shocked.
Tell us how you really feel.
My question, the conversation we were having and something Litwin said in chat made me think of something. It made me realize something and think of something. Throughout the history of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, what is your all-time, like, most satisfying gun to use? And I don't mean it killed the fastest, You were the best with it. What just, we talk about that Destiny feel, the sound, the recoil, the aesthetics, just what gun, like right now, if you think back, you're like, man, that was a cool gun to use.
Last word.
Defiance of Yasmin for me, right off the bat.
Oh, wow.
Last word.
Man, mine's really tough.
Benevolence. Oh,
Her Benevolence is.
I don't know if I can pick one, but obviously Thiessen was like my go-to. But I loved Doctrine of Passing. Felt amazing. Loved using it. Sounded great, and I love Truth a lot. That was just a unique bending the bullet, like, was so awesome every time. And the arc sword that shot the Zelda style spinny move. Boltcaster. That thing was so much fun.
Mine, they're kind of different, and that's the reason I kind of split it up, because if you had to say like my favorite to use as far as like I was good with it, it felt good to use, like because I was killing things, would be Last Word. And because it was so unique. But as far as just like the sound, the feel of the gun itself, Hawkmoon. Dude, the sound of Hawkmoon with that like big shiny etched barrel, like it was just so badass looking.
I like when you got the black and gold version of that too. Remember that came? That was like slick look on that thing.
Yeah, that was super nice.
And it's a sweet name. Like, not that the Last Word's bad, but Hawkmoon.
I know
is a sweet name.
I know we've got a lot of nostalgia surrounding those weapons, but so it's hard to like place D2 stuff over it. But are there D2 guns that you feel are like, oh man, this one, just the sound of it, the feel of it? No. There's none.
Not
really.
And that's not.
Ace
That's
of Spades.
That's not.
Ace of Spades
feels really
freaking
good.
awesome.
But it's still like the feel of it to me, not how it performs, isn't any different than it was in D1. It still has the same kind of sound. Do you know what I mean? That's not a bad thing. I'm not saying anything bad about the D2 weapons, but Hawkmoon to me, and Last Word is just a unique. It's just unique.
Yeah.
Like, it was just badass.
Hand cannons, other than the ones that they've just started putting out, and I would still argue that a couple of the new hand cannons don't have the D1 secret sauce in them. Ace of Spades is the closest thing, in my opinion, to a D1 hand cannon. It's still.
Have you used the new Forge
would
one?
you still put it below there,
A little
Wilson?
up. Yeah, I've used the new Forge one.
I think that one feels great.
It's
really
not bad. What were you saying, Triton?
I mean, would you still put it below? So I mean, it's an exotic. Would you put it below the suite of Hawkmoon, Last Word, Thorn
100%.
in terms of like feel? I mean, I think
100%.
you were saying that when I was asking it. But...
Yeah, 100%.
I still think the 3 original exotic hand cannons from D1 are like the best representation across Destiny of not only like how badass the weapons can be, but how different they can feel. Again, not how they perform, but how they feel. Like the sound.
I agree. All 3 of those, the diversity
very
across
distinct.
All 3 of those,
They're iconic.
Very distinct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're iconic.
Yeah,
I would say for me that there are some D2 ones that I would like. I feel are iconic and distinct for me in sound and feel and everything. And that is, I feel that way about Black Talon right now. Like it just feels unique. It feels different than Boltcaster did, but I really like the way it feels. I feel awesome when I'm using it. It's not as effective in PvP, I don't think, but I'm having a blast with it in PvE. And then Silicon Neuroma really is like, I played around with Bite of the Fox because technically it has like more range, better aim assist kind of thing, but it's not like Silicon Neuroma is just silky, smooth snap, but it's like a gigantor gun too. And it feels like you're holding something like heavy. And when you shoot it, it sounds like you're shooting a 50 cal, like out of that thing. Like, it sounds incredible, but yet it's super, you can easily go in and out of it like so fast. So I really like Silicon Neuroma. I want to push for you to get it, Wilson. When that strike comes around, like, I will grind that out for you to.
I got it.
You got it?
He's had it for a long time.
Okay.
It was like the second time the strike came around because I changed my Twitter location to the Pyramidium, and then I went after DFA, and I think my location is still. What strike is that?
The
Cabal.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's called. I forget.
Why don't I just look on
the
Twitter?
DFA is that the arms dealer one?
No.
That's you get the Sparrow from that. That's right.
DFA is the one where the big Cabal crushes the big Vex.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh, wait,
It's
isn't
time-
that this week though? That's the Garden World, right?
No, not that one.
Tree of
Wait, the Garden
probability.
Tree
Tree
of
of
probabilities.
probability.
Yeah.
That is
Got
my
it.
Twitter location. Because it took me, dude, I did like anywhere from like 8 to 12 hours a day, and it took me like 5 days of doing that before I got the DFA.
Gorniak
was
said
cool, that was-
Trust is his favorite D2 gun, just overall. And that one is very distinct, has that revolver feel and that sound, vertical recoil. That one feels pretty good.
The one thing I kind of miss, and I think we'll probably get them now that they're coming back into the game, but like the two HMGs we have are both cool, but they both kind of have this like the sound of them isn't. They sound like they're shooting like little needles as opposed to like Yolder's hammer that was like this big like bang 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 like this heavy like
Corrective measure.
yeah. I want one of those back.
Remember
You know
when
what's-
Corrective measure had that stupid heavy thing where you'd like run over a heavy brick and you basically kill like 14 people with it? That was the best.
Those were the days.
Those are the days. Also, the messenger would be in there for me too. Like when you could kind of
yeah.
Messenger
tap
was
people in the
good.
head was just ridiculous, like a laser pointer.
That was a nice.
Another D2 thing, this isn't a one gun in particular, but and it doesn't feel as good now as it did before all the weapon swap changes happened, but SMGs weren't a thing in D1, and I remember when we first started up D2, remember Hove, you were like, "Have you played with SMGs yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't," or I had just started messing with one, and I was like, "It feels incredible." Like it felt so good picking up an SMG for the first time and
I said
melting
that?
some people with it. You said that. I remember you specifically asking me, you're like, "Have you tried SMGs yet?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just got one." And you were like, "Is it not so much fun?" And I was like, "It's so much fun."
That doesn't
And
sound like me.
And I still feel that way whenever I pick up the Huckleberry and use that thing for a little bit. But it's not the distinct like this gun, this thing, this sound or anything like that. It's just a fun factor for those guns that I would, we're talking so highly of D1. There is that for D2 that's not even in the game in D1.
I think that right after you guys had that discussion was like those 2 or 3 weeks where Lego tried different pronunciations for like the anti-OPD or whatever. it
Yeah.
ended up being. I think that's what it was around that time.
Yep. Uh-huh. Antiope.
Have you guys
Oh,
gotten
I
one
did
of those
get
with any
the
good
speaking of
rolls?
Nightfall rewards. I got that
No.
Warden's Law, the
Oh,
masterwork
yeah.
roll on that
Oh,
first
nice.
try this week, so I was pretty happy about
Hot
that.
damn.
What'd you get on it?
I think it has like range perk and then
Ooh.
like rampage. I could check real quick, but
Nice.
I got the curated Mindbenders.
Oh,
shotgun
nice.
one,
Nice.
which was pretty decent.
That's
Pretty
cool.
dope.
I think I got the curated one as well, running it with Hove and
Yeah.
Dewey or Hove and
I
Marcus.
think it was Dewey.
my exotic drop. Well, not exotic drop, but just like what I actually get from the exotic has been shit RNG recently. I've been getting a lot of duplicates on my hunter, and not even just any kind of duplicates. Duplicate gloves, like it knows, like, oh, you want them shards, homie? Nah, dude, not today. We'll give you something you already had, like fucking Aeon Flux, or well, not Aeon Flux. What's the one that like where you're all supposed to wear them?
Yeah, it's the Aeon ones, right?
Yeah, but
Fuck those, man.
Aeon Flux
Get
was
outta here.
Aeon Flux was that cartoon on MTV that they
From
made into a
MTV.
movie with
Dude,
Charlize Theron.
do something about
That's who
those
was the voice of
gloves,
Aeon Flux?
man.
Wow.
No, she was the
No,
live
no,
action
the
version.
movie.
Oh, she was. Oh, I didn't see live action version.
Aeon Flux.
The
It's bad.
Warden's
It's not.
Law curated has Rampage, Zen Moment, and Ricochet rounds. I haven't.
Oh,
used it,
okay.
But that's the rules.
Dude, I like that gun actually. Like, I think it was one of my go-tos for pairing with the fusion rifle because it just hits so hard that if I like missed a bolt or two, just switch to that thing, it'll finish them no matter what.
And
it sounds cool.
So maybe that's something I'll do if that comes around.
What's that?
That's-
Get that gun, Wilson?
Is that Nightfall
It's
this week?
It
Is
is.
that-
It's the Warden.
Sweet. Maybe
Warden of
maybe that's
Nothing?
what I'll do this week then, because I actually enjoy.
Oh, it's bright in here.
You know what? To piggyback what you were saying earlier, Lego shit that I want to see come back more. Nightfall Strike unique rewards, even if they like mix it up and they're like, I don't know, maybe. This is your last chance this season. We're gonna have new Nightfall Strike weapons the next season, or and then we'll rotate them back again sometime or something, like that. But I really do enjoy the mindless. Like, let's get in there and just run this to the ground. and
Yeah.
see what see what we can pull out of this. So
Even
though
though
you
you-
kick on some music, you kick on another podcast, you kick on a stream, a
You
YouTube
guys are
video.
so bright.
Well, that's what happens when you take off your sunglasses, Hove.
I forgot to tell you when I left the room before we started, I ran into the door.
Oh.
Because I had sunglasses on, there were no lights on.
Wait, you ran into the door?
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you run into it like it was open and like sideways? It went through your arm like a cartoon.
No.
Why
not
did you?
the
What
cool
were you in
way
such a
to
hurry
run through a
for?
door.
I wasn't. It's dark. I couldn't see anything. I thought the door was open.
Wilson, I thought it was interesting you saying that you love the strike reward stuff after you felt like pulling out your phalanges playing for so many Pyramidians trying to get that sniper rifle.
I was trying to allude to the fact that Hove was in a hurry because he had to take a sploot.
Just pre-game dump.
Just-
Pre-podcast dump.
No, I was trying to find another hat, actually.
One that wasn't so Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
Hunter
Yeah,
S. Thompson, and then somebody said Wilson from Home Alone.
Been talking
From,
about
Home
questions from
Improvement.
chat and other things from
Yeah,
chat.
Home
Home Improvement.
That's why I did. Did you see me before when he said that? That's why I was doing this.
Oh, I didn't get it.
I said
Okay.
Home Alone. I've had so much. We watched Home Alone recently, and then like all of a sudden Macaulay Culkin's like everywhere. He's in like 3 angry video game nerd movies. He's on like the news. He's in a new
He's in that
commercial that we
commercial.
talked
The
about.
commercial's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
And then I like these random videos came up in my YouTube feed. It was it's like a YouTube channel that breaks down everything that's like bullshit in a movie. So it was everything wrong with Home Alone and Home Alone 2, and for whatever reason I sat down and watched it, and I kind of wish I did. Continuity ruined. Don't do it. But I'm just saying he's popping up the whole Home Alone thing. It's popping up everywhere.
Popping up. Pop, pop,
Popping
pop.
up.
Well, I feel like we're kind of done with Destiny chat. I don't really feel like I have anything else to talk about, so I feel like, you know, Hove's just gonna take over the conversation, and this could go anywhere from TV shows to man boobs. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next.
Why would I talk about man boobs, Lego?
I don't know. It just came to mind as something you might talk about.
Tim Allen noises.
I'm not sure why that would be a thing. I'm mostly, I've been stewing on the fact that Triton went to see Aquaman without even mentioning or inviting me. That's been boiling up like
I don't know why. That's
like a
the case,
Taco
though,
Bell
because
post meal.
I don't know why it's the case. We didn't talk about it or anything. Like
I know
that.
that's why I'm mad.
But you know what?
You started to
but it's
before the
also
podcast.
over the holidays and run errands, do other things too. Like I didn't know if you wanted to maybe run errands for me. Like I'm really into pop figures. I got this really awesome Darkwing Duck pop figure that I was hoping
what?
to.
No,
and I was
you
hoping to pair
didn't.
Yes, I have the Darkwing Duck pop figure and was thinking
Wait.
about pairing that with the Gargoyles pop figures, but I didn't get those.
Oh wait, you've
My
had
mom got
you've
me
had
a
that,
Hanzo
haven't
one.
you?
I've had this one, but I didn't have I got the Negatron one.
No, but I mean
and
you
was
didn't
thinking about-
actually just get that.
No, I've had this
Oh.
one for a while.
That
This
was
one
what
came out probably
Darkwing Duck
early.
was one of his words. That's what I was like. No, you didn't.
Oh
Dude, it was
my
perfect. I
God.
just totally took this off the
I got
Darkwing Duck.
I got an awesome Roadhog pop figure.
Sparrow? Oh no.
No, from Mr. Wilson and his lovely better half,
Oh.
and a whole bunch of
So you
Rice
got-
Krispie treats.
Wait. Oh yeah, I was gonna say Rice Krispie treats. You got those too.
I ate a lot.
Is that a Hanzo main down
Hanzo
there?
Pop, nice. It's sweet. Those ones just came. I was gonna get there was like an exclusive that box lunch place that's in the mall by us. Hove has like an exclusive Junkenstein pop. I was thinking about
What
maybe getting
mall?
it at a pretty good deal. The mall, Robinson Mall.
That's not by me.
Okay, well we go out there when we meet, so
Oh,
That's why-
when do we meet? Because you don't seem to
try
tell
to
me
be
when you're
inclusive.
going.
Oh my gosh.
Is it
Dude,
by
I
the
warned you
Eden
about
Park
those
that-
Eden Park fries. I feel
Yeah.
like that is
Yeah,
as
they're
much as a
perfectly
friend.
fine at my Eden Park.
Well, I haven't tested the Robinson one yet. We
Maybe they
know
just
the
wanted the
McMurray one is
Alpha
terrible.
Asians' opinion and not mine.
Well, that's possible.
Have you been back since they had the shitty fries?
Not to that. I mean, I don't ever go to that location really, anyways. But I've actually not been to it since that.
Wait,
incident.
which one do you go to?
The one in Robinson.
Oh, which
that
one?
one was in McMurray. It was the McMurray one, yeah.
Oh.
This is all in Philadelphia, by the way, Lego. So we're all,
Yeah, I know. I think half of not half, 95% of our listeners are just like, I don't know what's happening right now.
It's definitely not 95 because, well, I don't know how many listeners we have, but Matt Grundy and a guy named Dave listen, and other people that may or may not want to know.
Okay, less than 95% docs.
Wilson's normally like my partner in crime in the nonsense talk, and he has his head down. I think he's sleeping.
I feel like I could talk about PUBG on console all day, because there's a lot of guns that feel so much better.
That's because
I know it's bad.
Dumb.
Versus, let's do it.
I
PC
know it's bad.
versus console.
No.
On the PC side, Legos on the console. Go.
I don't want to be on the console side. It's bad. I admit it's terrible. It loses automatically. But if it's so much fun playing it, not having an actual PC setup, and like actually playing PUBG, like as long as you don't care about graphics and you can deal with the inventory system, it's fine.
As long as you don't care about gameplay, graphics.
I didn't say that. I said graphics and the inventory system. That's it.
I knew the inventory system. Download this recently, Lego. Not
do
a
what?
endorsement. You've asked me to download this recently, not a ringing endorsement at all.
Because PUBG is a fun game. It has nothing to do with the graphics.
On PC.
If all the things you mentioned didn't exist, it seems.
I mean, it's not like he's talking about a fucking Atari game where you have to use your imagination for like half the games. But like, obviously, like inventory management is going to be a nightmare with a controller.
Exactly.
You know. So are you just enjoying the plug and play experience of it all?
I'm enjoying the plug and play experience and playing with a controller and actually like aiming down sight, like pulling the trigger instead of like tapping something to ADS, like that kind of stuff that just comes intuitively from playing console games. Like it's intuitive for me to play PUBG in that way.
Because I've been watching some PUBG streams like on PC, and like, yeah, it's better on PC, but it's still a game that's optimized like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
It is optimized a lot better. It has come leaps and bounds. Like again, it just kind of goes to show you that like, if the game is optimized poorly, it doesn't matter where you get it from. But like on console, like, is it like we mentioned graphics, Hove? Is it draw distance? Is it like rendering distance?
Everything's just very like grainy, and it just.
Wilson, I'll send you a clip of I last night. I was telling the guys about this pre-podcast, but last night I was showing Rally what it felt like to play on console because he got it. And my third game with him, because the first two games he was just figuring out the inventory system and stuff, and we were kind of just whatever.
Controller.
Yeah, it's difficult to figure out, but I realized watching back on my gameplay, I've gotten really fast at swapping stuff because you can get pretty fast at it. But he died. We're at like the last like zone like 4, zone 5 or something like that, like way into the game, and he died facing a team running into the zone. I ended up killing those 2 guys and then going on 6 more kills, ending the game with 9 kills. And it all happened like pretty fast because other than my very first kill, all those 8 kills came within the last 5 minutes of the game. And it was pretty fast. And I'll have to send you the gameplay and you can kind of decide. But to me, it's like that adrenaline rush that is in PUBG on PC is in console. And the guns actually feel like you can watch whenever I'm using one of those, not the barrel, but the other 7.6 gun.
Mutant?
Do what?
Mutant?
The Mutant, yeah, the 2-tap one. So I just put it in single fire mode, and I could pull the trigger so fast and control the recoil so well on console, where on PC for some reason it's just funky for me to try and do that. And I'm sure if you're a PC gamer listening to this, you're like, that's crap, it's so much better on PC, because it probably is if you're used to PC gaming, but I'm not, so it feels great on controller.
Lego's like this, it wasn't really like a meme, it was like a little 1-minute video I saw on Twitter. Actually, Fate posted it. It's like when you're max light level in Iron Banner, and it was a dude in like a bouncy playpen with a bunch of kids.
I saw
and
that.
He was just rocking them, dude. And stuff like they were coming at him with like couch cushions, and he just boom, just send them flying across the thing. And like that's what I'm picturing as Lego on console. He just likes beating up on a bunch of noobs. Like,
it kind of is like that sometimes, because the very last 2 kills you'll see when I send you the clip, but I accidentally pulled my mutant. I accidentally pulled the mutant out, which is in single fire mode. It doesn't even have a full auto for the last 2 guys, and I run up on them and I just go clink, and just shoot one shot. And one of the guys back, and I'm like, oh no, it's the wrong gun. And I had to switch to the full auto, and I finished both of them with the M4. But it was just like,
Nice.
what? I can't believe I made it out. Like if that was on PC, I would have died immediately.
I actually have a really good clip that I saved. I didn't save the clip itself yet. It's still the whole replay, but it's
on PC.
Specifically for you, Lego.
Okay.
I gotta do it. It's
I want to see it.
It's good. You're gonna laugh. So let's talk about
Rally's in chat now making fun of how awful I am.
Yeah,
He's
no,
been casing the whole time.
That's
I've
what
been
Rally
cracking up.
does.
We did get a fair amount of Twitter questions, I thought.
We got a couple.
Did we
I
get some
think we got two.
Someone asked like
A
3
few.
or 4.
There's at least one legitimately like we'll have to think about it question.
They're all legitimate questions. Don't put down our listeners,
Wow.
Lego. Wow, man.
Sorry. The listener is always right.
Man.
Continue, Hove.
Good. Whoever said that was a wise man.
Yeah, we have two questions.
Unlike the person who said Christmas is over.
Yeah, dude,
What
it's
a-
always Christmas.
Christmas
What a
is
Scrooge.
over.
Fucking Grinch.
Cody Stoltz asks, what are your Destiny New Year's resolutions? Get it? Any bad
Ooh.
habits you want to quit doing in PvP? Any goals you want to achieve? Any cheesesteak sandwiches you want to try/create? And then there's a question for me.
Things I want to better myself in PvP. Look at my radar more. Suck less.
Suck less, yeah.
Less tilt. 'Cause it happens, man. I mean, like we're usually
You're an
pretty
angry
chill.
elf.
Sometimes I get pretty fucking pissed. Sometimes, man, it's just I don't know what it is, dude, but something will just really piss me off in the game. All right,
Yeah.
And so it happens. Okay, it's video gaming.
You're an
But
angry elf.
outside of the game, I've been trying to eat healthier.
Oh, wow.
I'm trying to quit drinking soda. I'm down to like one every couple of days. Yeah, I don't really like make New Year's resolutions normally. Like I kind of started that before the first, but like I get why it's like a perfect time to do it. So eating healthier, like not trying to like lose weight, eat healthy, but just like cut a lot of the bullshit out of my life. It's tough, man. Like if you go around, like if you try to make a change like that, and you go around and look at your cupboard, you're like, shit.
Does that mean you're going to get rid of me?
No.
Oh, because I'm full of bullshit.
No, you're all the junk food I need.
Oh, man. Wow.
I'll follow up, Wilson. I think Destiny related PvP specifically, it would be I want to snipe more. I want to use a sniper more. So there's that, which I do pull it like, especially quick play. I'll use it a lot, but I just want to do it more and get better at it. I felt like I was better at D1 sniping, and I know a lot of people feel that way, but I specifically have seen some really good snipers in D2, and I would like to get better. And also with PvP, not on the tilt factor, but more like useless callouts is what I want to stop doing. Like when I'm playing comp, a lot of times when I die, I notice I'll just externally process and I'll be like, oh, I died to that shotgun, or I died so far from that hand cannon, or whatever.
This guy's fucking shotgun, man. The range, and it's like that could've
the
been
range of that
information.
shot. And no one can use that,
No.
it's just useless. Like they know, like I could say I'm dead, or he's half or something like that.
That's a good
But
one. That's a good one.
I just feel like that's useless information, especially in the high level comp stuff that just doesn't help anybody. And I do it a lot. Like I'll die from a shotgun and I'm like, oh, I died from a shotgun. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
We're pretty good about calling that out though sometimes, like because I've heard you say it and I know I've said it a few times. Let's try to make useful call outs. But I mean it's hard not to, but I mean like you said, that's a huge thing that I need to work on too, because you're not conveying information and you're taking up mic time, which doesn't allow somebody else to convey what could potentially be vital information to the game, like, or at least the moment. That's a good one.
I thought it would be quit leaving my teammates for ammo.
No, that's still necessary.
That's genetics. That's like in his DNA. Like,
That's like New Year's resolution. Like I want to do more of that.
I just want to prove to the world that I'm a better fusion rifler than Lego.
That sounds like
Wow.
a private match showdown.
That does sounds like. Why haven't we done more private matches? What's wrong with us?
Every time I used to say like, oh, we should do some private matches, and everyone goes no and gets off, and it was always just me and you, Lego.
Except for me.
I know.
Yeah.
What?
I said like just like our RezoCast raid or other things.
That's happening. Take it easy. All right.
Whoa.
Yeah, as soon as we find mana.
I'll go after Lego. I mean, I think
I already went. You're the last one.
You went Hove?
Yeah.
That's what you just said? Okay. Well, ignoring what Hove said and just going after Lego. I think the worst habit I probably have now is in D1, I felt like you had to check corners a lot more for snipers. So if I don't see anything on my radar for a, potential like shotgun camper, I definitely have a tendency to just walk around a corner a lot more in D2 than I did in D1. And I don't want to say that people have sniped more lately, but I think I just have noticed it a lot more within the last couple weeks. Like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have just walked out there into that one guy sniping this whole game.
It never used to be the thing at the beginning of D1 though, man. You never had to check your corner for a sniper, right? And now everybody just got kind of used to it. Like, I just always had the I love those precision weapons and like try to have that like precision weapon mentality of like every time I come around a corner, either go high, low, slide, jump, like something. Helps a little bit more with a hunter. Like on your way down, it seems like you have a little bit more accuracy than some classes, but yeah, definitely try to be a little bit more unpredictable when coming around corners nowadays.
Well, I think bows, like Wilson, now that since you kind of made the comment too, like bows, it would probably help not to do it for bows either, because like just the one headshot, then anything getting you after that is a kill or a death. So
yeah, with a bow, that's like my favorite thing to do is jump really high and then come out. Like, oh man, playing that verticality on a hunter with a bow is so good.
That's good.
I would like to try Philly cheesesteak at some point in my life. So for the last question there.
Yeah. The very last question from Cody Stoltz. It's directed towards me, but if you guys would like to answer, what is your God roll cheesesteak?
Ooh.
Curious what Hove's answer will be.
It is. I mean, you got to be pretty. It's a cheesesteak. It's not a cheesesteak and this and that and everything else. So my favorite.
Sorry, Benedict Cumberbot is banning DJ in chat right now. So
yeah, I don't even know what he did. Too many exclamation points.
No soup for you.
The place in Reading Terminal, Carmen's, I believe, with provolone and white American. And if I could mix that with the former garlic, what was that stuff at Triton at Groove?
The garlic aioli.
The garlic aioli from that on a Carmen's cheesesteak in downtown Philly. That's the God roll cheesesteak.
Wow.
It's all about that cheese. Doesn't matter what kind of cheese. All the different kinds of cheese.
Absolutely matters what kind of cheese.
It's hard to fuck up cheese and meat, to be honest, and bread.
Yeah, but
it's
cheeses taste so much different.
We're talking about the best, though.
Yeah, like legit though. Like I couldn't be like, okay, like I guess like what, like provolone, which doesn't even really have a taste, I guess. Like, I don't know.
I guarantee you, if I put two different cheesesteaks in front of you with two different cheeses, you would have a preference. You would know the difference.
I'm not saying that one wouldn't taste better than the other. I'm just saying I don't know what the fine provolone fucking cheese, tons of steak,
it absolutely matters.
Green peppers, and maybe some like really dank like au jus sauce or something. Isn't that a thing? Like with
like a French
I don't like
dip,
that stuff.
Like a dip. Yeah. Anything where I can dip my bread into some sort of liquid, like a medieval peasant, bring it on.
So basically, you just want a French dip.
Sure.
Pretty much what you
Put
just
anything in front of me, I'll
described.
fucking eat it, man. I don't know what to tell you. All right.
I'm telling you, that's the way to go.
Sounds really good. The garlic aioli sauce from Groove was amazing.
It's the
That
best thing
sounds
I've
good.
ever eaten in my life.
I don't even know what it is.
Absolutely
Sounds
made
great.
all those sandwiches. And I like mushrooms in my cheesesteak too. That probably, but I don't know anything about the Carmen's. But the garlic aioli for sure. Multiple layers of cheese, of course. I think like the ratio of like meat to cheese has got to be pretty close. Like not quite 1-to-1, but it's up. It's got to be up there for me. So that would be probably
I mean, you go to a real cheesesteak place, Wilson. You'll even have your choice of sharp provolone or mild provolone. That's how
You're gonna
big a
watch me
difference it
freak
makes.
the fuck out when I have too many options, dude. I'm just gonna stand there going,
I would
Yeah,
be
but you know what'll
interested to try
happen?
the Sharp.
I'll just tell you what to pick, and you'll go.
I gotta learn
okay.
to read and shit. Come on, man. You're gonna watch me have a freak out.
I am still all about steaks and cakes. I think that could be a real moneymaker. I think we could do it.
And Clarence was in here too.
He's here. He knows. He said
Yeah,
the cheese matters. He
knows.
knows what's
Yeah.
up. That's coming from Chef Cam. Wilson, you heathen.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not denying it anymore, all right?
Oh, do we have any other questions when we get to here?
No.
For some reason, I think maybe just everyone just sorry guys. I think maybe just a bunch of people responded with not a question, but I do think we have a fair amount.
I want to talk. Can we brainstorm steaks and cakes?
I think you had like half an episode already talking about that.
That's not true at
I
all.
mean, the game plan was pretty simple.
The people will
Yeah.
have their way. Lego, you cannot suffocate
Well,
me
I
forever.
don't think we have anything to discuss until we at least have one person that has been in the food industry that can tell us how to run our place.
We do.
He's in chat right now.
Yeah.
The
You
person
weren't here
you're
for that?
asking.
Get him in here.
Cam came on to
Get him on the show.
He
He actually
he
does
is
need to come on here.
he is. Would you guys just let me do my fucking job? All right. Anyway, he did comment on the YouTube that said it sounded like a great idea. He has cooking experience. He would love to. And I was like, you can just be a partner because we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. But it's steaks and cakes, so we're in. You guys, you underestimate me. I feel like
Is cakes going to include like crab cakes? 'Cause
it
that's
can
like-
include any kind of cake. Lego,
Okay.
what kind of cake do you want?
A birthday cake, a birthday vanilla cake, just like the party
Fine.
thing.
Fine.
Yeah.
We'll have steaks and cakes.
It'll be there.
So
But
what? Okay,
we'll
so real quick on the
focus
cake.
on cheese steaks and cheese cakes. But we can have any kind of steak and any kind of cake.
Oh, so that's like the.
You're what?
Your mic went poopy.
You're speaking in Morse code.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, he's back.
So for a quick cake question, because like one of my kids asked me this the other day. So for like a traditional cake, what is technically the inside, so the non-icing part of the cake called? Is it just I just literally said, oh, it's just the inside, dude.
It's
And then
just
just
literally the cake.
That's the cake.
I mean, is
Yeah.
that? I mean, so when someone says like, what's the inside of the cake called? I
Like
was just
white
like,
cake, yellow cake, chocolate cake.
inside.
That's
That-
the cake.
that makes sense. So
Yeah. Then there's like cake donuts and stuff like that. Oh,
okay. That makes
Ooh,
sense.
strawberry
Donuts
cheesecake.
are good.
What about
Dude.
Cam? How do you feel about pumpkin cheesesteak? Cheesecake. That's where it's at. But ooh, strawberry cheesecake. I'm in.
he's trying
Let's
to pull
come
like
on.
the
This is like
Starbucks approach.
this is like meant to be. Come on, steaks.
You're
and cakes.
streaming all this information. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna steal it from you. Like,
I don't
you
think
gotta
so.
be careful, Hove.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow.
These
they're
are
gonna
all,
have
like,
our
friends and
likenesses everything on there.
Did I tell you about the time I accidentally made? I put pumpkin spice in my lasagna once.
Yes, you did tell me about that.
Yeah.
Was it amazing?
I stopped before it really made like a huge difference. But I then Googled pumpkin and lasagna, and there is pumpkin lasagna.
Oh, okay.
So
So you continued to pour more
No.
on the lasagna.
I meant to grab the Italian seasoning, which was just, random spices, and I grabbed pumpkin.
I grabbed a hard-boiled egg and de-shelled it and reached up into the higher reaches of the cabinet that I'm not used to, and sprinkled what I thought was pepper on there, and don't know why I didn't distinguish the difference between thyme and pepper. Like, thyme is very like fine. Like, I don't even know what the fuck you use that stuff for. But anyway, I put it on the boiled egg and took a big old bite of it, dude, and it was quite the shocker, dude. I would say it would be like equivalent of like expecting like to pick up a drink and expect like a Gatorade, and then like you had like a beer. Like, it was that difference of like a taste clash. Like, I was expecting like salt and
And
pepper,
it
was
really throws you off
thyme.
because it could be something that you pick up that you really like, but because you expected something totally different, it like it's terrible, you know?
Like
Dude.
that time my friend went to like drink some of his beer and accidentally grabbed my other friend's spit cup from his dip.
Oh,
No, that just is gross no matter
Gross.
what.
Yeah.
Dude, something that was kind of fucked up. So I went over to my mom's for Christmas, and she's like, "Oh, what do you want on your salad?" And they've got all these fucking hippie dressings and stuff like that. So I'm like, oh, I don't know, like some ranch, you know, something like American and fatty and not like super duper hippie. And so my mom's like, "Oh yeah, I think we got some ranch. It's been a while since we've had some ranch." So mom goes and finds this brand new thing of ranch. Thunk, puts it down on the table. I mean, it's this huge thing of ranch. Still sealed and everything. Crack the seal, put it on my salad, and it is not the color ranch. And I'm like,
no.
Mom,
Was it like yellow?
it was like a manila folder.
Mhm.
Like almost like a gray. I'm like, we're like, Mom, how long have you? And at this point, I had already taken a bite too. Like, so I was like,
Oh.
yeah, 4 years old with the seal. I'm lucky to be alive.
That's
Oh,
probably a
man.
bit of an exaggeration.
I'm lucky to
But
be
that
alive.
sucks,
Oh.
though.
No, I've seen Bad Ranch, and it looks like. Ugh.
It looks like in Minority Report when Tom Cruise gets his eyes taken out and he goes to like grab something from the fridge.
Okay, now
and
I'm
he
definitely gonna
does the
die.
wrong thing. Yeah.
I'm
No,
definitely
I'm talking
gonna die.
about-
Experienced the
that
best
seems
ranch
disgusting.
ever at Eden Park.
Eden Park does have the best ranch. So,
Yeah.
there was this time I had a party at my house when my parents were out of town when I was in
Oh,
college.
God, here it is.
And all these people ended up at my house. I don't even know how they got there. It got a little crazy. So I'm telling everyone, just don't go outside. Don't be loud outside. Stay inside. We're fine. So my one... Chad Lantis with the host. Everyone gets to hear my story. This is gonna
Oh
be terrible.
no.
Chad,
Y'all
thank
came
you.
at a real awkward time.
So I had this party, and I told everyone. I had one friend who didn't drink at all. And he was like the responsible one, and I was telling people like, don't go outside, just don't be loud, blah blah blah. So our one buddy gets just annihilated, and he's a mess, and you can't control him, and it's just bad news. So anyway, we end up chasing him outside because he's just running and being a dick. Finally, we get him to go upstairs, but at the top of the steps, he just like trips and lands face first and is just laying at the top of my steps. And we're like, all right, cool, he's asleep, so we're gonna go. So then, somehow, skip an hour or so, I end up with I'm wearing a paper crown that I made in art class like 10 years before that was kept around because it was terrible. And
Reasons.
Yeah. A blue bathrobe, giant bear claw fuzzy slippers with like claws on
Wow.
them, and I'm
Like
carrying
the
around,
bear claw pastry.
and I'm drinking Tang and the cheapest vodka we could find out of one of those like giant like liter mugs from like a German place. So I'm walking
yeah.
around. That's like, oh, and I had a gavel. I don't know where I got a gavel.
Yeah, where'd you get? Okay.
I don't know.
Judge?
Yeah. So at some point, I ended up outside just screaming. So my friend, who was supposed to be the responsible one, is like, oh, come on, like, go inside. You're going to be loud. You told everyone. So I'm then just running around. He's chasing me around the car in the front of my house. And finally, I run in the house, and I run upstairs, and he's still chasing me. And I trip over my buddy, who, remember, an hour ago had passed out up there. And I just just fell next to him. And they were like, all right, he's sleeping too. So they get downstairs, and about a half hour later, they said, they came upstairs, and I was just standing at the top of the steps in nothing but my boxers, just scratching my head and looking at them, like, confused. And they were like, dude, Hove, put your wang away. And I just looked down, and I went, and I just walked away with my dick hanging out of my boxers, and just, that was the end. And then my name was Cockout for the next 2 years.
And then he did it again at Guardian Con. True story.
That's not what did that really happen?
Become more of like a rich. No, it really did.
Oh.
I was like, wait,
got-
why don't I remember?
He got really concerned, and I felt bad for him there for a second. I was like, I really can't think that he.
So yeah, that was a crazy weekend.
Oh ho.
Wow.
All right. I don't think there's anywhere else to go from there.
Yeah, who can follow that? So.
Nope. I don't got nothing.
Do you want to hear another story?
Next time.
Next time? Yeah, next
Oh.
time.
Save it.
Next time, you'll hear a story
On-
about me throwing up while driving across a bridge.
Oh. Common occurrence. Well, you'll hear it
Or
here next time on
the
7 in
time-
Hove Heaven.
Or the time I asked the cops for directions to the street that I was currently on.
Can relate.
Wow. Yeah.
Can relate.
Ouch.
Did you ever see the Dave Chappelle stand-up where he's like, "This is you're on 3rd Street"? That was pretty much, yeah.
That was you. Well, I think that might be it for this episode of RezoCast. Do y'all have anything that y'all want to add here at the end of the show as far as stuff coming up next week? Obviously, we don't have anything Destiny related to talk about, but which is fine. You know, I want to bring up something real quick that I think Triton or Wilson brought up, that, you know, devs are out on vacay over Christmas too. And I think that's cool that they take a break. I don't think we have to be entertained and have something new every single freaking week. Like, that's fine.
We don't?
I don't know. That's just my personal take on it. But yeah, want to real quick thank Blue Microphones and Headphones for its amazing products that we're using here tonight. As you can see in Wilson's window right there, the amazing blue logo he has perfectly placed.
Oh, you can't see it on mine because...
Oh, dang. Well, we just want to thank them and let you guys know that we do giveaways here live on stream and on the podcast. But tonight, even though we're not doing that, you can still use code RezoCast at bluemic.com for 20%. 20%, right?
20%.
20%
like-
off.
A lot.
That is a lot. I tell like my IRL friends, like, hey, use code RezoCast because these products are awesome. Like, it's a no joke of a discount because they're just as much on Amazon as they are on bluemic.com. So go check it out. And you can find more about RezoCast at RezoCast on Twitter. If you are listening live or just on some other medium, we're on YouTube live at /Hove76 on and we are
You're
also
going to have to repeat all that.
well, they hear it on the podcast, just not live.
Oh, so our live viewers don't matter to you.
No, they're just already here, and I was talking about the Twitch channel.
Oh.
But repeating myself here, we are on Apple iTunes, we're on Google Play, we're here live, Hove76 on Twitch, also YouTube. So any medium that works for you, feel free to check us out there. This has been, well, before I get to myself, also, if you want to learn more about Team Resolute, which is how we all get together in the first place, you can find more about our clan Resolute at Team Resolute on Twitter. This has been Lego, aka Legoli Flash. You can find me at Twitter, Twitch, YouTube at Lego LE Flash. Hove, where can they find you?
Here on Twitch, that you're already at, maybe. At Hove76 on Twitter. Pretty much Hove76 anywhere.
The pause there.
I don't know. Sometimes I forget.
You're just thinking of
apparently-
mana.
Who?
I don't know.
Apparently, this is the second time I had like free reign to be as ridiculous as I wanted, and I like couldn't do it. I have some sort of like performance anxiety, I think, maybe.
I think I didn't give you like a clear enough segue into like 7 in Hove Heaven. I think maybe you need to do the segue.
I think I just am better at derailing off of normal topics than I am at starting myself. Wilson, are you taking off your clothes again?
No, my camera started freaking. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Good. Triton?
I'm lost now after that. All
This is where you...
Okay. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, all under Triton, please. All one word, please, being PLZ. And how about you, Wilson?
You can find me trying not to go to the hospital from 4-year-old ranch. And until then, hit me up on Twitter and let me know what kind of shiny Pokemon you got for the winter event that just ended.
Oh,
That's
God.
cool. Let me know. At Ryu Wilson. That's RYU Wilson. hit me up. Let me know.
Don't do it.
Do it.
Nice. Well, thanks for listening to RezoCast episode 117, y'all. Until next time, GG.
Holy shit, 117?
Bye.